Hello friends, know when you're wrong. Choosing the right stocks matter. Be it Snap, C Limited, Tiger Brokers and Futu, we have to choose carefully. Remember that I mentioned on 24th January 2022 that Nasdaq 100 has to hold the range from 13,900 to 14,100. On the day, it subsequently dipped to around 13,700, only to close back almost flat on that day, closing above 14,000 on 24th January 2022. Some more, as of 9th Feb 2022, Nasdaq 100 has closed up by over 2% and closed at above 15,000 points, a very positive sign. But is it really safe right now? Remember, it is important to know when one is wrong. Never believe those people who say that they are 100% right and they are never wrong. The only certainty in life and in stock market is that you have to know that there's no perfect prediction. Even AI, artificial intelligence, won't be able to do that. So what should happen right now? If Nasdaq 100 can hold the 14,700 to 15,000 range by end of this week, then there is a chance for uptrend to resume and continue. But always remember that one could always be wrong. Here is just a recap of the price movement for Snap, Facebook, and Twitter since then. And as of 9 Feb 2022, with Snap at 14.28 USD, Facebook at 232 USD, and Twitter at 37.83 USD. And Snap has clearly outperformed Facebook and Twitter by rebounding the fiercest among these three companies, with it jumping 65% compared to Facebook jumping 7.3% and Twitter jumping 80% from their 52 weeks low. For me, I continue to be optimistic of Snap's long-term performance and will consider a position when appropriate. So what about price summary of Tiger Brokers, Futu, and Robinhood? You see the price here? For these fintech companies, they actually plunged a lot during the tech correction. And for Futu and Tiger, they suffered even more given the regulatory concerns over the grey area for Chinese citizens to invest overseas. You look at Tiger Brokers. Right now, it's only 11.6% of all-time peak. Futu is 22.3%, and Robinhood is 16.3%. We know that the coast is still not clear for Tiger Brokers and Futu, particularly with the risk overhang pertaining to the regulatory concerns. Being a Tiger Broker retail shareholder, my conviction in Tiger Brokers remain unchanged, but I have to sound out that there is indeed risk since there is one PBOC official who kept repeating on cross-border securities trading rules. Look at all this news here. But I do find it weird for this announcement to come at a time on 9 February 2022, given that Hang Seng Tech Index was then around a critical price point of 5,600. Made me really wonder why there is again mixed signals coming out from China. And if you remember what I mentioned in my past video, that George Soros continued to sound alarm over China's development and raised the possibility of internal conflict among Chinese members in January 2022. I also mentioned that as Mr. Xi Jinping is set to take on a historic third turn as China leader in October 2022, we have to see if supportive monetary and fiscal measures will be announced in first half of 2022. I still believe that proper regulations rather than banning overseas investment should be introduced to allow overseas investment by Chinese citizens to aid them in portfolio diversification and risk management so that they can allocate their capital across different sectors and different countries to manage their portfolio risk. Not forgetting that back in 2015, there was already a discussion on China eyeing diversified investment plan for pension funds. There was also a discussion on top for the launching of QDII2 for overseas investment scheme that is to potentially allowing individuals to invest directly overseas. I really think it would be too short-sighted for China to ban overseas investment by citizens. Hopefully, China, being strategic thinker for the long run, will recognize the benefits of allowing its citizens to invest overseas. Risk of owning Futu and Tiger at current level is the uncertainty of what China authorities will do with regard to overseas investment. The safeguard is, of course, the value of the Southeast Asia business that Tiger Brokers had developed. Hopefully, China will be strategic in their thinking to allow overseas investment by citizens to allow them to diversify their portfolio and at the same time support their firms that are listed overseas. So far, Tiger Brokers and Futu have helped out very well after the news on 9 February 2022. This is actually a positive sign to me. However, we should know that the coast is not entirely clear. The true upside to Tiger Brokers and Futu will only come when the regulatory concerns are removed. For C share price, it has rebounded the most as compared to Coupon and Grab, demonstrating that C Limited is still favored by the market despite recent price weakness dropping from 302 USD all the way down to 119. It is only also a stock that I will consider for long-term investment compared to Coupon and Grab, as I mentioned several times since January 2022. The question is always about pricing and when will I acquire C Limited. Whether the crash of the US tech equities for the small and mid cap will continue will depend on how the support level can be held up. Right now, I remain open-minded that things may change and I will adapt my portfolio accordingly based on my portfolio management basis. As always, this should not be construed as any investment or trading advice.